Corporal Jack Mercer sat in the cockpit of the small scout ship, eyes fixed on the stars ahead. The cold hum of the engine was the only sound inside the cabin. His mission was simple: explore unknown space, find new planets, and report back to Earth Command. But this mission was different. The scanners had picked up an unusual wormhole, a swirling blue gateway in space that no one had seen before. Command had ordered caution, but curiosity burned in Jack's heart. He pushed the throttle forward, feeling the ship shudder as it moved closer to the glowing vortex. Suddenly, the ship jolted violently. Alarms blared. Jack struggled to keep control. The wormhole's strange energy tore at the ship's systems. Lights flickered. The world outside became a blur of colors and shapes. Then, silence. When Jack opened his eyes, the ship had stopped moving. The engine was quiet. He looked out the window and saw a sky unlike any he had ever seen. 2 suns hung low in the sky, bathing the land in soft pink and purple light. Strange plants with glowing leaves swayed gently in a warm breeze. The air smelled fresh and clean. Jack's heart raced. He was not on Earth anymore. He quickly ran the ship's diagnostics. Systems offline, except life support and basic sensors, he muttered. Outside, the ground looked soft but firm. Jack decided he needed to explore. He grabbed his gear, a small pack with essentials, a light rifle for protection, and a device for communication. The hatch hissed open. Jack stepped out, feeling the warm sun on his skin. The world was silent except for the sound of birds with bright feathers calling to each other. Jack took a deep breath. He moved carefully, noticing the soft moss beneath his boots and the colorful flowers that seemed to glow even in daylight. As he walked, he saw signs of life, tracks in the soft earth, broken branches and unusual fruits hanging from trees, but no creatures were visible. Suddenly, a voice called from the trees. "Traveler!" Jack spun around. From the shadows stepped a figure unlike any he had seen. She was tall and slender, with silver skin that shimmered like the moonlight. Her eyes were large and bright, filled with curiosity. She wore no clothes, only a simple sash of woven leaves. Jack's training told him to be cautious, but the woman smiled warmly. "My name is Tara," she said softly. "You are safe here." Jack relaxed slightly. "I'm Jack. I come from far away." Tara nodded. "You are the first human to visit Nurea. Come, I will show you." Tara led Jack through the forest. She moved with grace, almost floating over the ground. Jack noticed how natural everything felt here. The plants, the light, even the air seemed alive. As they walked, Tara spoke about her world. "We live with the forest," she said. "We do not hide from nature. We trust it. We wear little because the air and sun protect us. Our skin does not burn." Jack listened carefully, fascinated by her words. She stopped at a clearing where a small village sat, built from living wood and crystal. The houses glowed softly with light from within. People moved about, laughing and working, their skin shining in different colors like gems. Jack realized this was a place of peace and beauty, unlike any world he had known. The villagers welcomed Jack with curiosity but no fear. Tara explained who he was, and a traveler from another world, lost and needing help. Jack felt both relief and wonder. He had landed on an alien planet where the rules were different, where people lived close to nature and wore no clothes by choice, not by necessity. He was amazed by their openness and kindness. One elder, a tall woman with golden hair and calm eyes, approached him. "We are called the Nurians," she said gently. "Our world is a place of harmony." Jack nodded. "I want to learn about your people," the elder smiled. "And we want to learn about you." Days passed. Jack explored the village and the surrounding forests with Tara's guidance. He discovered that the Nurians had many talents. They could communicate with animals, grow plants quickly, and even use crystals to store energy and memories. Jack showed them some of his technology, and they were fascinated by Earth stories. But Jack also noticed something else, a quiet strength beneath their gentle ways. The Nurians did not carry weapons, but they were not weak. One evening, sitting by a glowing pool of water, Jack asked Tara, "What happens if someone wants to hurt you?" Tara looked at him calmly. "We protect with truth and trust," she said. "We believe that fear and hate only grow when we respond with anger. But we do not ignore danger. We face it with courage." Jack nodded slowly, realizing this was a lesson he needed to learn. One morning, Jack was woken by a soft alarm. The sky outside was filled with strange lights. From the forest's edge, dark ships descended. Jack's heart pounded. He ran to the village center. The villagers gathered quickly but without panic. "We have visitors," Tara said, her voice steady. Jack recognized the ships. They were similar to those used by the Drevak, a ruthless alien race known to conquer other worlds. He looked at the Nurians. "We have to protect this place," Tara nodded. "We will stand with you." Jack began helping the villagers prepare. They worked quickly to set up simple alarms and energy shields made from crystals. Though the Nurians did not fight, Jack taught them how to watch, listen, and stay calm. When the Drevak scouts landed, Jack and the Guardians of Trust, villagers who chose to protect their home, used their knowledge and teamwork to confuse the invaders. The Drevak retreated. Surprised by the Nurians' courage and cleverness, Jack stood with Tara under the twin suns, watching the ships leave. "This is only the beginning," Jack said. Tara smiled softly. "But we are ready." The sun set over Nurea, painting the sky in colors Jack had never seen. He knew his life had changed forever. On this strange, beautiful planet, a human soldier had found something unexpected: hope. The sun rose slowly over the planet Nurea, casting soft light through the glowing trees. The air was warm and calm. Corporal Jack Mercer woke near the pool where he had sat with Tara the night before. His suit was patched as best as he could manage, but his communicator still didn't work. The strange world around him felt peaceful, almost too peaceful. Jack stretched and rubbed his eyes. He wanted to learn more about these people. Who were they? What was their culture? Could they help him get back home? Tara appeared beside him, smiling gently. She wore a simple band of woven leaves and beads around her forehead, but no other clothes, just like everyone else in the village. Jack had gotten used to it, but it still surprised him sometimes. Here, clothes were not necessary. Trust and honesty mattered more. "Good morning, Jack," Tara said in her soft voice. The AI translated her words into English on Jack's visor. "Morning," Jack replied. "What happens today?" Tara's eyes sparkled. "Today you meet more Nurians. You see our way?" Jack nodded. He hoped this would help him understand their world better. As they walked through the village, Jack noticed more people. Some were tending gardens with glowing plants. Others worked with strange machines that floated and hummed. Children laughed and played games with light shapes floating above their hands. The whole place felt alive with gentle energy. Most of the Nurians looked at Jack with curiosity, but no fear. Their eyes were open and kind. They didn't hide their faces or bodies. Jack remembered the elder's words: "What you hide, we show." Suddenly, a group of villagers approached. They were taller than Jack and had silver and golden skin that shimmered in the sunlight. One of them, a man with bright blue eyes and a calm smile, stepped forward. "I am Leorin, guardian of the village," he said slowly, watching Jack carefully. Jack stood tall and gave a small salute. "Corporal Jack Mercer, human soldier. From Earth," Leorin nodded. "You are welcome, Jack. We heard your arrival." "It was loud," Jack laughed. "Yeah, that crash wasn't very smooth." Leorin smiled, but then grew serious. "You carry weapons. That worries some." Jack glanced at his rifle. "It's for protection. I don't want to hurt anyone, but I need to stay safe." Leorin looked at Jack's face. "We have no weapons here. No wars, no fights. We believe trust is stronger than weapons." Jack's eyes softened. "That's different from Earth. But maybe it works here." The group walked to the Great Hall, a wide space made of crystal and living plants. The walls shimmered like water, and the floor glowed faintly under their feet. Jack felt small in the beauty of it all. Leorin gestured to several seats where other elders waited. Jack noticed their peaceful faces, calm and wise. One elder with silver hair and deep green eyes spoke. "You come from far away, Jack. We want to know why." Jack took a breath and began. "I was on a training mission near a wormhole. Something went wrong and I crashed here. I don't know how to get home yet." The elders listened quietly. Tara translated when Jack struggled with words. One elder, Seren, leaned forward. "Wormhole? Dangerous path between stars. You are lucky to be alive," Jack nodded. "I'm lucky, but worried. That wormhole might bring others. Not all friendly." The elders exchanged looks. Seren spoke again. "We have lived isolated, peaceful. New visitors bring risk." Jack looked around the room. "Maybe I can help. I am a soldier. I know how to protect." Serene's eyes narrowed slightly. Your kind fights. War is your way. Jack shook his head. Not always. Sometimes we fight to protect peace, Leoran smiled. Then you are more like us than you think. After the meeting, Jack stepped outside into the warm air. He looked up at the two suns shining in the sky. Tara joined him, her eyes full of questions. Do they trust me? Jack asked. Tara hesitated. They are cautious. But they see your heart, Jack smiled.
I want to prove I'm not a threat.
I want to help, Tara nodded. We will teach you. And you will teach us. Over the next days, Jack spent time with the villagers learning about their customs and way of life. They shared stories without secrets. Everyone was honest about their feelings, fears, and hopes. Jack was amazed how open and kind they were. One afternoon, Jack accompanied Tara to a library of light, a large dome filled with floating images and stories stored as light patterns. Here, knowledge was shared freely. Tara showed Jack how they stored memories and lessons using light. Jack told her about Earth's history, its wars, achievements, and dreams. You have a strong spirit, Tara said softly. You carry many burdens, Jack nodded. Maybe, but I believe humans can grow better. We learn from others, Tara smiled. Good. We can learn from you too. One evening, as the two suns set and the sky turned a deep violet, Jack stood outside his small shelter. He looked up at the stars. The wormhole near Nuria was unstable and could be a gateway for many travelers, some friendly, some dangerous. Jack thought about the peaceful people he had met. Could he help protect them? Could he find a way home and bring new friends instead of enemies? Suddenly, a soft sound caught his attention. From the forest edge, figures approached. Not the peaceful villagers, but something else. Small machines floating silently scanned the air. Jack's heart beat faster. AI, what are those? He whispered. Unknown technology detected, the AI answered. No immediate threat identified. Caution advised. Jack raised his rifle, ready. But then the machine stopped and a hologram appeared, a symbol Jack recognized from his training. The Drevak, a warlike species known for conquering planets. Jack swallowed hard. He had warned the elders about danger. Now it was here. The next day, Jack was summoned to the Council of Mirrors, where the elders reflected deeply on the arrival of the machines. Tara stood by his side. You must help us, she said quietly. Jack nodded. I will. He began teaching the villagers about defense, not war, about strategy, not violence, about protecting peace by being prepared, wholly. The people of Nurea began to understand. Jack smiled. Maybe this strange, beautiful planet and its open-hearted people had found a new friend, and maybe humanity had found a new home among the stars. The Hall of Mirrors was a magnificent place. It was not just a building, but a symbol of the Nurians' deepest beliefs. The walls were made of crystal, shining softly in every color of the spectrum. The light bounced and twisted, reflecting not only the outside world but also the hearts and minds of those who entered. Corporal Jack Mercer felt a strange calm as he stepped inside. The air was cool, filled with a gentle hum that seemed to come from the very walls. He had been summoned by the Council of Elders, the wisest leaders of Nurea. Beside him stood Tara, the silver-skinned linguist who had been his guide and friend. Jack glanced at her, hoping for strength and understanding. Tara smiled gently and squeezed his arm. Are you ready? She asked quietly. Jack took a deep breath. I will do my best. Inside the hall, the council waited. 7 elders sat in a circle, their faces calm and full of wisdom. Their skin shimmered in colors from gold to deep blue. Each of them wore a simple, glowing crystal on their chest, a symbol of truth and clarity. One elder, whose eyes were bright green and full of kindness, spoke first. Jack Mercer, you have come from a distant place. You carry stories of war and peace. We seek to understand. Tell us, what is your heart? Jack thought carefully. He looked around the circle, meeting each elder's gaze. My heart is to protect, he said slowly. To find peace even if it means fighting sometimes. I know humans are not perfect, but we try to learn and grow. An elder with silver hair nodded. You speak with honesty. That is good. Another elder, whose eyes were like pools of deep water, asked, You speak of protection. Here we do not carry weapons. How do you protect without harm? Jack smiled. Sometimes protecting means being ready, being smart, using your mind and your heart, not just your strength. The elders listened carefully. One of them, the oldest, spoke with a soft voice. Your arrival has brought change. The wormhole you came through is unstable. Others may follow. Some will bring danger. Jack's face grew serious. I warned the council about that. The elders exchanged looks. The oldest said, we must decide how to face this threat. But we are not warriors. Tara looked at Jack, her eyes full of trust. We need your help. Teach us your ways, but also learn ours. Jack nodded. I will teach what I can. But you must also be brave. The council agreed to let Jack help train a group of volunteers. They called themselves Guardians of Trust, people who would learn to protect the planet without breaking their peaceful ways. For the next days, Jack worked hard. He taught them about tactics, about watching and listening carefully, about working as a team. He showed them how to build simple defenses without weapons, traps, alarms, and shields made from energy. At first, some villagers were unsure. They did not want to change their peaceful lives, but Jack's passion was contagious. He told stories of Earth, of wars fought, but also of peace won through courage and kindness. One day, a young woman named Ceylon approached Jack. I want to learn, she said. Not to fight, but to protect my family and friends. Jack smiled. That's the right reason. Ceylon quickly became one of his best students. She was smart and quick, and she asked many questions. Jack enjoyed teaching her, and he began to see hope in this new world. Meanwhile, Tara continued to work on translating and understanding Jack's language. Together, they built a small communication device that allowed Jack to send messages through the village. One evening, Jack sat by the pool again, watching the reflection of the stars. He felt tired but hopeful. Tara joined him, sitting quietly. Do you miss home? She asked. Jack nodded. Every day. But this place, it feels like a second chance, a place to make a difference. Tara smiled softly. We will help each other. You are not alone. Jack looked at her and realized how much he had come to care for her and for Nurea. Suddenly, a loud alarm echoed through the village. Jack's heart jumped. He grabbed his communicator. The AI's voice was calm but urgent. Warning. Unidentified ships approaching. Unknown origin. Jack ran toward the council chamber. Tara and the elders were already there. The eldest elder spoke. The time has come. We must prepare. Jack nodded. I will lead the Guardians. Outside, dark ships appeared on the horizon. They moved silently, fast, and without warning. Jack raised his arm. Guardians, get ready! The villagers gathered, calm but alert. Jack saw the worry in their eyes, but also the courage. The ships landed in a clearing nearby. Robots poured out. Not like the gentle machines of Nurea, but harsh and sharp, made for war. Jack's training was about to be tested. He shouted commands, directing the Guardians to set traps and shields. They worked quickly, their trust in Jack growing stronger. The robots moved forward, scanning for life signs. Jack stayed calm. Remember, we defend, not attack. Use your minds, not your weapons. The robots stopped suddenly. Something in their programming recognized the energy shields. They backed off, confused. Jack saw an opportunity now. Use the signal jammer. The Guardians activated devices that scrambled the robots' commands. One by one, the robots froze. Jack breathed a sigh of relief. Tara came running up. You did it! Jack smiled. Together. After the encounter, the villagers celebrated their success. Jack was proud of them, proud of Nurea. The elders thanked Jack and Tara. You have brought strength to our peace, the eldest said. Jack looked at the stars again. There was still much to do. The wormhole was unstable. The Drevak threat was real, but for the first time, Jack believed that peace could be protected by strength, trust, and understanding, and he knew that this strange, open-hearted planet had become his new home. The twin suns of Nurea had just begun to rise when Jack Mercer stepped outside his small shelter. The air was cool, filled with the smell of fresh leaves and morning mist. Birds with shining feathers flew across the pink sky, singing soft songs. It was a peaceful world, but peace, Jack knew, was fragile. He watched the horizon where the enemy robots had landed just days ago. They had been stopped, yes, but only the scouts. The real danger still waited beyond the wormhole. Jack felt it in his bones. Tara joined him, her eyes calm but alert. You didn't sleep again, she said gently. Jack gave a tired smile. I'm used to staying up. On Earth, soldiers watch the night. Someone always has to stay awake. Tara nodded. Here, we sleep without fear, but now, things are changing. Jack looked out over the forest. Yes, and we must be ready. Later that day, Jack gathered the Guardians of Trust, the group of peaceful Nurians who had chosen to learn strategy and defense. They had trained with Jack for days. They still didn't carry weapons, but their minds were sharp and their spirits were strong. One of the Guardians, Ceylon, stepped forward. Jack, she said, we felt fear when the machines came, but we also felt something else, courage. You helped us find it, Jack smiled. You already had courage. I just helped you see it. Ceylon looked serious. What if they come again? Stronger, faster? Jack paused. Then we use what we know. We don't become like them when we don't attack, but we protect our people. The Guardians nodded in agreement. Jack pulled up a small device from his belt. A hologram of the enemy ship appeared in the air. This ship, Jack said, pointing, belongs to a race called the Drivak. They don't understand peace. They take what they want. They look for weak planets. A Guardian asked, why would they come here? We have no gold. No weapons, Jack explained. The Drivak don't want treasure. They want control. They believe peace is weakness. But that's where they're wrong. He looked around the group. We will show them that peace can be strong. Very strong. Back in the council hall, the elders watched the training with quiet interest. Tara stood beside them. Elder Seren, her hair shining like moonlight, turned to Tara. Do you trust him? Tara nodded. With my life. Jack teaches with care. He does not push war. He teaches balance. Elder Leorin, who had once doubted Jack, now looked thoughtful. He does not act like a conqueror. He listens. He learns, Seren smiled. Then we must listen too. That evening, Jack worked with the AI in his wrist device, trying to gather more data from the wormhole. The AI, still weak from the crash, flickered but managed to respond. Warning, it said. Wormhole field unstable. High possibility of further entries. Jack's heart sank. How many? Unknown. Estimated time to next breach 36 hours, Jack stood up. 36 hours? That wasn't much time. He walked quickly to the village center and called a meeting. Under the glowing trees, the villagers gathered. Some sat on the grass, others stood quietly. Jack stood before them, calm but serious. I have news, he began. More ships may come soon. A wave of whispers passed through the crowd. Some faces showed fear. Others looked toward Jack with hope. I won't lie to you, Jack continued. The Drivak are dangerous. But we've already stopped one of their scout teams. We can stop more together. Tara stepped forward beside him. Jack has trained many of us. But we must all take part, not with fear but with unity. Ceylon added, we fight with our minds, not with weapons. We protect with truth. Jack looked around. This is not just my fight. It's yours. Your world is worth protecting. The villagers began to nod. Quietly, one by one, they stood and placed their hands over their hearts, a Nurian sign of promise. The village would stand. The next morning, Jack, Tara, and the Guardians began building new defenses. They used the forest itself. Vines that could trip intruders, glowing plants that could blind sensors, and energy fields that could block ships. They created a shield generator powered by crystal energy from the Nurian trees. Jack worked closely with Nurian engineers, amazed by their clean and clever technology. This is better than Earth tech in some ways, Jack said, examining a hovering energy orb. A young engineer smiled. We build with care, not speed. By the end of the day, the village looked the same on the outside, calm, peaceful, full of beauty. But now it was also quietly prepared. As night fell, Jack stood once more beside the pool with Tara. You're not afraid? He asked her. She looked into the water, watching the stars reflect. I am, but not of the enemy. Jack turned to her. Then what? I fear losing what makes us, our kindness, our honesty. Jack nodded slowly. I won't let that happen. Tara smiled. I believe you. At dawn, the sky changed. A deep hum rolled through the air. Birds scattered. Trees shook gently. Jack activated his visor. They're here. 3 dark shapes appeared above the forest. Sleek, black Drivak ships circling slowly. Inside the Hall of Mirrors, the elders watched the sky. They come like shadows, Seren whispered, but we are not afraid. Jack stood at the front of the Guardians. His voice was steady. Remember your training. Stay calm, watch their movements. Let them make the first move. As the ships hovered lower, small bots began to drop again. This time there were more. Dozens, but Jack was ready. Phase 1. Activate field disruptors. The Guardians triggered their hidden devices. The soft hum grew louder and then pop. One of the bots froze in midair. Another exploded in a harmless flash of light. The Drevac ships paused. They had expected no resistance. Phase 2, Jack ordered. Defensive shield up! A blue dome of light rose around the village. The bots tried to push through but bounced off like insects. The villagers cheered softly, but it wasn't over. The Drevac ships began to charge weapons. Jack's heart pounded. Suddenly, a bright beam shot from the lead ship, aimed straight at the shield. The shield trembled. Lights flickered. Jack shouted, "Hold it steady!" Redirect power. The Nurian engineers responded quickly, using energy from nearby crystal plants. The shield held. Then Jack had an idea. Tara, can we send them a message? Tara looked surprised. You want to talk to them? Yes, maybe. Just maybe they'll listen. Tara nodded. Let's try. Using their signal amplifier, Jack sent a message in simple galactic standard. This is Jack Mercer. This planet is protected. We want peace, but we will not surrender. There was silence, then a deep voice replied, You are human. Why protect these weak creatures? Jack replied without pause. They are not weak. They are brave. They live without fear or hate. That's true strength. Another pause, then the ships pulled back. Slowly, the Drevac ships rose higher and vanished into the sky. The shield faded. Silence fell. Then the villagers burst into soft cheers and laughter. Some cried. Some hugged. Tara turned to Jack. You did it. Jack shook his head. We did it. That night, the Council of Elders gathered again. We faced the shadow, Seren said, and our light did not fade. Leoran looked at Jack. You brought us knowledge, and also courage, Jack smiled. You already had both. You just needed to see it. The sky over Nuria was calm again. The air was fresh, the trees glowed softly, and the birds sang their gentle morning songs. After the Drevac ships had left, the village slowly returned to its peaceful life. But something had changed, not just in the skies, but in the hearts of the people. The Nurians had faced fear. They had stood their ground, and they had done it without becoming violent. They had protected peace, not destroyed it, and at the center of it all stood Corporal Jack Mercer, the human who came from the stars, the stranger who became a guardian. Jack stood by the edge of the forest watching a group of guardians train. They moved through the trees with quiet focus, testing new traps and energy nets that Jack had designed with their help. They still did not carry weapons, but they were prepared. Tara joined him, holding a small device, a translator crystal that now spoke both Nurian and English. They are learning fast, she said with pride. Jack nodded. They've come far. When I arrived, they didn't even know what war looked like. Now they understand how to defend their peace. Tara looked at him quietly. And you, Jack? What will you do now? Jack didn't answer right away. He had been thinking about that for days. His mission was never meant to bring him here. He was just a soldier, caught in a wormhole trying to survive, but now he had become more than that. I'm not sure, he said honestly. Earth still doesn't know I'm alive, but maybe I can find a way to contact them. Tara smiled softly. Will you leave? Jack looked at the village. Maybe, maybe not, but I'll never forget this place. That evening, the Council of Elders called for a special gathering in the Hall of Mirrors. Every villager was invited. Lanterns floated through the air, casting soft light across the crystal walls. Jack entered with Tara by his side. The room was filled with quiet excitement. Elder Seren stood and raised her hands. Her voice echoed gently. Today we honor a visitor, a protector, a friend. The crowd turned to Jack, their eyes full of warmth. You came from a far world, Seren continued. You came with confusion, fear, and strength. But you listened. You shared. You showed us that courage does not live in fists or fire. It lives in the heart. Another elder, Leoran, stepped forward, holding a folded cloth made of shining threads. The colors changed slowly like flowing water. This is the cloak of understanding, Leoran said. It is given only to those who bridge two worlds, who carry not just knowledge but connection. He handed the cloak to Jack. Jack took it slowly, surprised. I don't know what to say. Saran smiled. You don't need to say anything. You already spoke? With your actions. Jack placed the cloak over his shoulders. It felt warm and light, as if it were made of light and wind. The room filled with a peaceful silence. Then soft music began, a song of hope, played on Nurian wind instruments. Villagers danced in slow, beautiful patterns, celebrating unity. For the first time since his crash, Jack felt something deep inside, a sense of belonging. The next morning, Jack stood outside with Tara, holding a small crystal device. With the help of Nurian engineers and his AI, he had finally built a communication beacon. It could send a signal through the wormhole, reaching a human satellite or ship, if any were nearby. Jack pressed the button. A soft pulse of blue light shot into the sky. Message sent. The AI confirmed. Awaiting response, Jack waited. Hours passed. Nothing came, he sighed. Maybe they're not listening. Tara looked at him. Maybe they are not ready, or maybe you're meant to be here for longer. Jack chuckled. Maybe you're right. He sat down by the pool where he had first spoken to Tara. The stars above looked the same as Earth's, but now they felt different, like old friends. Tara joined him. What will humans think, she asked, when they hear about Nurea? Jack smiled. They'll be amazed. A peaceful world with floating libraries, music gardens, and people who trust each other. That's rare. Will they want to visit? Some will, Jack said. Some will come to learn, others, maybe not for the right reasons. Tara looked worried. What if the wrong ones come? Jack turned serious. Then I'll be here, to protect, to guide, just like I did before. Days passed. Then one evening, Jack's communicator beeped. Incoming message. He jumped to his feet and activated the screen. A grainy image appeared, a human commander in uniform. This is Colonel Davis, Earth Command. We received your signal. Confirm your identity, Jack saluted. Corporal Jack Mercer, reporting from unknown planet, designated Nurea. The colonel looked surprised. We thought you were lost. I was, Jack replied. But I found something much more important. He explained everything. The crash, the village, the Nurians, the Drevak, the peace, the trust, the training. The colonel listened carefully. Finally, Davis spoke. We'll send a science team. Carefully, we don't want to scare them. Jack looked at Tara and then back at the screen. Only peaceful visitors, sir. No soldiers. No weapons. Just people who want to learn. Understood, Mercer. You'll be our ambassador. Jack smiled. It would be my honor. When the Nurians heard about the contact with Earth, they were cautious but hopeful. The elders met again and agreed. A slow, respectful exchange of ideas could begin, if both sides were willing to listen. Tara was chosen to be the first Nurian visitor to Earth. She would go with Jack, learn about humanity, and help Earth understand Nurea's values. Jack looked at her. You're really going? Tara nodded. Only for a time. And only if you go with me, he grinned. Then I guess I'm going home, but not alone. As the transport ship arrived from Earth weeks later, the village gathered to say goodbye, but not forever. Jack had promised to return. He belonged to both worlds now. Elder Saran placed her hand on Jack's shoulder. You are part of our story now, and we are part of yours. Jack adjusted the cloak of understanding on his back. I'll make sure both sides remember that. Tara smiled beside him. Let's show your world that peace is not weakness. He nodded. And let's show yours that humanity can learn. The ship rose into the sky, leaving behind the glowing trees, the crystal halls, the songs of peace. But it also carried something new. A bond between two worlds. Jack Mercer, once a lost soldier, had become something greater. A bridge. A protector. A friend. And above all, a reminder that even in the farthest corners of space,